The Sunday Times today reporting that it's confirmed that from the Financial Sector Conduct Authority that Joburg Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda operated an illegal business. It's claimed he posed as a financial services provider without the required license and scammed people into making monthly funeral insurance payments, that is. We're joined by ActionSA Gauteng Chair Funzi Ngobeni, who's filed a motion against the mayor over this debacle. Mr. Ngobeni, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. So, all of this in terms of the funeral scheme that we're talking, funeral insurance and burial scheme we're talking about, happened in 2012. By the mayor's own account given to the Sunday Times today, he says him and those who invested in this business have buried the hatchet. They understand it was a failed business and they've all moved on.
Yeah, good evening, Kathy, and good evening to your viewers. Look, for us, it's I think this media coverage or this media story, it basically substantiates what we were asking all along, and even before we submitted a motion of no confidence. You'll remember, Kathy, that we made a public call to the mayor to say, please come forward and explain what is happening. Take the residents of the city of Johannesburg into your confidence so that all of us can be able to move on. And for a longest time, about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, the mayor has been avoiding the media and avoiding to account to councillors. And this motion of no confidence was aimed at holding him accountable and ensuring that he responds to the spirits. And now that the authority has confirmed that that was an illegal, scheme that he was running, and there's a case that has been opened in Protea North in that regard, against him. I think that vindicates and justifies, our position that he needs to be held accountable.
A case that was opened in the last couple of months, really, round about the time when this matter first came to light. The mayor seems to believe that the motive behind why this matter is coming up now is purely political.
Well, I beg to differ. I mean, there's no political party that went out of their way to canvass people to start to open a case or to start complaining. You'll remember it came up immediately after his inauguration, and there were voice notes that were doing the round, with residents complaining about this person that has just been elected the mayor. And it was from their own will when they saw someone that has defrauded them ascending to the highest office of the city of Johannesburg, and they started complaining about it. So it was no political party. I think political parties came after. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the mayor that needs to account, and he needs to be able to take the residents and all of us into his confidence. I think the platform that was provided to him via the State of the City address, he unfortunately missed, that opportunity. And now, the stories are running on the newspapers and all that. I think all this is really putting the city of Johannesburg, into disrepute. I mean, as a councillor, we all have a responsibility of upholding the integrity of the city and behaving in a manner that will not put the city into disrepute. And this is happening in front of our eyes.
How do you believe that this puts the city into disrepute? Again, given the fact that this is something that happened 12 years ago, the mayor, when you read at least part of the answers he's given to the Sunday Times, very much saying that it was part of a failed business venture. He was somebody who was also still trying to learn the ropes and very much wants to be given the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you see, Kathy, if you are a mayor of the city of Johannesburg and there are allegations that start emanating about you, the first thing that you need to do is to tackle those allegations heads on. You need not run away from them because they won't go away. So you call a press conference, or you go into council meeting and you address the matter head on and play it firsthand. So that it doesn't harbor over your head, and it raises questions about your honesty and whether you are transparent in your dealings. And that is what the code of conduct of councillors requires from all of us. It requires us to put the best interest of the municipality ahead of us. It says to us we must at all times ensure that the credibility and the integrity of the municipality is not compromised by dilly-dallying and running away from the media and running away from and so forth. That is in itself compromising the integrity of the municipality, and that is why we really made that call and asking him to really come forward, and he didn't do so. So it motivated us to put a motion of no confidence, and that motion is still in the process. What I can report to you now is that the Speaker didn't table our motion at the programming committee meeting for this council meeting coming now in June, and we hope that it will be tabled in the next month. But at the moment, I think the mayor needs to work around the clock in ensuring that he clears all this and all these criminal cases that have been opened against him, that he tackles them head on.
Ultimately, it's going to come down to how effective ActionSA will be in lobbying the other parties that, of course, have been part of the vote that has resulted in the mayor being in that position. Have you started that process at all? Do you have an idea of how much support you have in this call against the mayor?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We started even way before this motion was tabled to engage with other like-minded parties, opposition parties in council. But the point, Casey, that I want to put forward here is that we could have easily just, ignored this matter. We could have easily just, pushed it aside and not do anything. And just ignore and think that, it will just go away. But the bottom line is that all of us as political parties in that council, we have a responsibility of ensuring that the person that occupies the highest office in the city is a person of integrity and is a person that residents can rely on and can sleep at night knowing very well that their 80 million rand budget, it's in good hands. And we have taken that position ourselves, and we think that other political parties, whether they've spoken to us yet, or we have spoken to them yet or not, I think it's upon them, and that the residents will be able to judge all of us by our action, as to whether we're going to continue, shielding, Mayor Gwamanda from accountability, or we're going to take steps, within our own rights as councillors and within the processes of the city of Johannesburg municipality, and they will judge us, based on our action, and I think that will be able to show everyone that which party and which organization actually put the interest of the residents ahead of its own.
All right. ActionSA Gauteng Chair Funzi Ngobeni will leave it there for tonight.